ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Smackdown Live. I'm going to be honest here. This show is really not hyping me a lot for, I believe the next pay-per-view is Armageddon in November. I could be wrong, you can tell me below. But I'm just not really heavily hyped for this show. I'm just not. The problem I believe it is just there's not enough people on the roster to really get anything done. They're pushing for Survivor Series. They're really trying to get Survivor Series over. But when it comes to the next pay-per-view, you really don't have a lot left over to do. I mean, the first couple of pay-per-views, it was new, it was fresh. Everyone that you wouldn't expect to be seen in the pay-per-view got a chance to be seen. But now it's into, I think, the third pay-per-view or the fourth one. And there's not many people left to work with. This is why SmackDown feels a little bland to a certain extent. They just don't have enough people. Kurt Hawkins just came in, and there's not going to be a lot for him to do in the next couple of weeks before Armageddon, I believe. Like I said, I believe it is Armageddon. If I am wrong, you can tell me. I'll find out after this video is over, and I'll find out, oh, damn it wasn't Armageddon, or it was. But there's almost no one there. They need more bodies on this show. And the kicker is, this show is getting better ratings than Raw. And this is what's going to be a problem. If Vince cares more about Raw than SmackDown, he's going to leave the roster small. And even though it's still going to get better ratings, there's just not enough people to work with. And it shows here. Look at Becky Lynch and look at Alundra Bliss. I honestly have no interest in their match. I understand that Becky went away because there was some type of medical condition. She got it done. They gave a decent promo segment and then they had their fight. But it didn't change my mind. I just am not interested. Then we have the match between Natalya and Nikki Bella, seeing who will be the captain of the 5-on-5 elimination match for the women, and who will be left out. And it is Nikki Bella who wins and actually pulls off John Cena's move of the STFU. I am calling it the STFU because that's what John, when he was a heel, called it as the FTFU. It actually sounds better. I'm sorry. It just does. For me personally, the FU type of move, it sounds better. And the attitude adjustment, why couldn't he just keep calling it the FU? I just never liked it as the attitude adjustment. Call it the FU, call this the FTFU. It is what it is. Trying to be, politically correct sucks. But it's good to see that she did change up her ring work, and then Carmella comes and kicks her butt. But then that makes you wonder, wouldn't it have been better for Natalya to win and Carmella, and this is what I thought. I thought Carmella was going to come in and mess with Nikki and prevent her from being the captain of the women of SmackDown. But she wins and then Carmella beats her afterward, which I think isn't a very good booking decision. Unless they're going to do something special in the next 2 weeks, I just didn't see the merit of it. Then you have the Hype Bros versus the Ascension. Here's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. You're pushing Connor and you're pushing Victor. You give them tell them to get better face paint and try harder to work in the ring. It means nothing if they don't win. This is what I mean, that they don't have enough people to work with. They don't. Because there's not enough people to work with, you don't really think properly. And then when you really need to start building people properly, you can't because you need them to be jobbers. Let's be honest. The Vaudevillains and the Ascension are jobber teams. They just are. That's the reason why we haven't seen the Vaudevillains. We just haven't. And we should. The only ones that's getting pushed properly is the Hype Bros. And it was the Usos, but I haven't seen them this week. And it's going to be the odd couple of Heath Slater and Rhino. It's just showing that way. And you need better teams. But if they're going to job all the time, how can you get better teams? Trying to push them but then job them doesn't work. So Hype Bros win. And you go from there. The next thing will be the Spirit Squad going up against the Odd Couple. The problem I had with the entire segment when it came to The Miz and when it came to Dolph Ziggler wasn't The Miz. It was Dolph Ziggler. I know people are happy that he's an IC champ. I know people are cheering him, but what have we really gotten with Dolph? Nick Theodore I remembered his name this time, ladies and gentlemen. I always remember people's names after a long time. I'm terrible with names. But Nick Theodore sucks as IC champ because there's nothing really there. He's still in the same position he's been in the last 6 years. If he was World Heavyweight Champ and left there for 3 or 4 months, then we will honestly see if he deserves to be there or not. But as it stands, I'm going to keep saying it as I've said. It's time for him to leave. Not because he's a bad talent. It's because there's nothing for him to do. He's doing the exact same thing he's been doing for years. Look at Cody Rhodes. He got tired of doing the same thing over and over again. It's time for Nick Theodore to leave. He just needs to go. He has nothing to gain staying in the WWE except a paycheck. And this match kind of proves it. I mean, when it comes to the Spirit Squad, I was worried that they were going to win. But then Rhino and Heath Slater beat them, and everyone still loves Rhino. And everybody cheers a bit to Dolph Ziggler, but I just don't see anything special now. Dolph is still Dolph. He's still the same way. And it's not because he's a bad... It's not that he's bad in the ring. It's not that he doesn't have a good physique. It's not that he isn't 100% charismatic. I say he's about 70 to 80% charismatic. I say 70, 75. And that he's not a bad talker. He's okay. But he's been in the same spot for so long, we've gained nothing for him. So I really have no interest, unless they're going to do something special with Dolph in the next couple of weeks going into the next pay-per-view. I just don't care. Not much left on here. The opening of the show. That was a surprise. Because when we had Bray versus Kane, I thought this was another thing that Bray was going to have to job to. And then we got the... Forgetting about Luke Harper. Luke Harper's not the situation here. It's Randy Orton. Randy Orton is the problem. Because Randy Orton has basically RKO Kane. And he said he wants to join the Wyatts. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that doesn't mean it's better for Bray Wyatt. Look what happened with Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan did that. He got massively over because he worked with Bray Wyatt. But Bray Wyatt didn't gain anything, but Daniel Bryan did. Now you have Randy Orton wanting to join the Wyatts. And if I'm sure Bray Wyatt is going to try and basically test Randy Orton, he'll probably pass those tests, but then he'll probably screw over Bray Wyatt later anyway. It's going to depend on how they do this, and if it's done well, I'll be okay with it. But as it stands, I see nothing for Bray Wyatt. And that's another person I'm considering, well, not consider, he needs to go as well. What is Barry Windham's son going to do? I don't remember Bray Wyatt's original name, but I know he's a Windham, and he's Cowboy Jack Mulligan's grandson, and I just feel like he's not gaining anything. He may be loved by the WWE. They may love his promos. They may love his ring work. But where is he actually going? He's a joke. And I don't like him as a joke. Send him to Lucha Underground. Let him go to TNA. He will get over massively. He's one of the best talkers I've seen in the business in a long while. And I just don't feel like it's special here on SmackDown. As much as people love him, what is he doing? Has he got a title? No. Has he got a World Heavyweight Championship? No. Did he get the Universal title? No. Did he get the WWE title? No. Did he get the IC title? No. Did he get the US title? No. So what has he done? He's gone up against The Undertaker and jobbed. He's gone up against John Cena and jobbed. He's gone up against... I believe he went up against Daniel Bryan. Yeah, he did. He went up against Daniel Bryan and job. He went up against Kane and job. He went up against Dean Ambrose and job. How many people has he jobbed and he's gotten nowhere? Bray, it may be time to go. I'm sorry. I know the money is really good and you're probably still recovering from your injuries, but what are you gaining? And I know I'm trying to sound... I know I'm sounding really bad on this show. I didn't hate it. But I'm just looking at my storyline perspective. And here's the final thing to talk about. And this is AJ versus Dean Ambrose for a possible #1 contendership. You saw I stuttered because I wasn't sure how this was going to end. I had this feeling that James Ellsworth was going to screw him, and he did. It doesn't matter if it's intentional or unintentional. Dean Ambrose got screwed by James Ellsworth, which in the end hurts AJ Styles. Because this is not about AJ Styles. This is not about AJ's build or his character development or his reign. This is about a guy who's like a Zach Gowen, a Hornswoggle, a Rey Mysterio, any small guy who's been put in a position with big guys who is going to try and get over with these big guys. And everyone else to be damned. And this is what we got with James Ellsworth. Yeah, the crowd loves him, and he's moving merch, and he's not a bad character. But what about AJ? At this moment, AJ's character is stagnant. He shouldn't be saying the face that runs the place anymore. He needs to be doing something entirely different. He needs to be AJ Styles. The AJ Styles from New Japan Pro Wrestling. The AJ Styles from ROH. The AJ Styles in TNA. That's the one I want to see. A guy that's no nonsense, who doesn't need to whine or complain. That's going to kick your ass. That was part of Fortune 4. In the beginnings of Fortune 4, it was damn cool. Then in the middle of it got like crap, and then at the end it was bullshit. But this is what we want. We want the AJ Styles who feels like he is the best there is. And I just don't see that here. Maybe if Samoa Joe comes up, or Austin Aries, or Robert Roode comes up to SmackDown, we'll get something better. But at this moment, even though this was a solid show, wasn't that bad, there's not enough here to really make me interested for the next pay-per-view. But maybe in the next 2 weeks they'll change my mind, and maybe they'll do something with Naomi that will really change my mind. But this is my point of view. You guys tell me below. I hope you enjoyed the Zane's View. Please give me a comment below. 2 more things. No, 3. My reality of wrestling, I haven't had a chance to do it because you saw I've done a lot of content on my channel the last couple of days. Either it's going to come out tomorrow or Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope you don't mind waiting for it. And the last 2 things is directed towards Brittany Johnson and Sarah and Morgan Hyde. For Sarah and Morgan Hyde, they left me a comment. Dudes, yeah, I want you to open and start your own show. If you do it, I'll say something about it. I'll watch it. I'm not going to do a review of your show because that will hurt you. Not because I'll be critical of you, but because the anxiety will get to not just you, but to me. And that's how things will go wrong. But I will, if you leave me a link in one of the comments when you get the channel up and running, I will leave it in one of my videos periodically to say that you're finally making videos, and I'm proud of you both for doing it. And I want you to remember the most important thing, and it's not easy doing these reviews because sometimes it can be a chore. I know this is part of my job in my life right now. I'm not making any money, but this is my job since I'm not working. It can feel like that. So try to make it as fun as you can. And that's the reason why I kept mixing up stuff, doing Booking the Wrestler, doing the Debate of the Weeks, doing the Mixed Bag of Wrestling. Always make sure you try to change it and have fun with it. That's the key of it. And it's not easy to do when you're doing stuff like this. And Brittany, I saw your comment earlier that you were happy to see I was doing better. And thank you. And this is also to Sarah and Morgan and anyone else. I thank you all that you see that I'm doing better, and I'm glad that you did say something for me because I don't like talking about this in my videos, but I was stressed out. And I tried my best to stay calm and try to let it come. I still am not 100% back, ladies and gentlemen. My face still twitches, and it does hurt. But I'm okay. I am doing much better now next to the ear that sounds like it's in a tunnel. I'm not deaf. I can hear. It just... I'm still sick. I have sore throat and stuff. But I'm alright. Brittany, thank you so much for leaving a comment earlier. And if you didn't see the Booking the Fan with Sarah and Morgan, I said this earlier. I probably will do another Booking the Fan on you eventually. And your picture is very pretty on your YouTube channel. Why not? I'm going to say it. You're pretty. Have a good day. Have a good night.